Hello, my name is C0LONIALISM from Edukea Tanzania. I'm a History 2 teacher of advanced level. So welcome to proceed with our topic, and warm welcome to proceed with today's lesson. Our topic is new colonialism and the question of underdevelopment in the third world countries. So let us proceed with our steps, or let us proceed with the steps taken by the less developed countries to solve the problem of underdevelopment and the new colonialism. It means the steps which were taken by the less developed countries to solve the problem of underdevelopment and the new colonialism. As you remember, this is our third subtopic. So let us it is the fourth subtopic. It is fourth subtopic. So we are on the last subtopic. The steps have been categorized into two, namely collective efforts. It means they have been categorized into two. The first one, it is collective efforts, and the other are individual efforts. Let us start with individual efforts. Individual efforts include like investing on science and technology. The third world countries or less developed countries decided to invest much on science and technology. It means that to improve the local technology which they have, in order to improve that technology and they start to use it in the production of various goods. That's why you see in different third world countries there are simple industries like C0. These are small or simple or right industries which involve themselves in the production of different goods, so that they cannot depend much on Western technology or goods. So you can see that the science and technology of less developed countries were improved by the less developed countries. Another step was training many skilled laborers or laborers. It means that the third world countries, they come up to know that we have to invest on training the many skilled laborers who will able to be productive in different activities, so that the production will increase maximally. It means that the engineers were trained, doctors, bankers, and other scientists, so that they can come up with new inventions and discoveries in order to come up with better strategies which will push up the economic development of the third world countries. Another step was utilization of natural resources. As after the attainment of many less developed countries' independence, most of them were not utilizing their natural resources. But soon, after seeing or being suffered by those two problems in colonialism and underdevelopment, they come to know that we have to use or utilize the available natural resources in production of various goods. For example, in Tanzania, there is utilization of natural gas which is present in Mtwara and in Lindi. So that gas usually it is used in production of electricity, of the source of energy for cooking. So the utilization of natural resources available in the particular country, especially in less developed countries. And there is the utilization of arable land which is present in that less developed countries by introduction of large plantations, so that they can produce highly in agricultural activities. But another, it is curbing corruption. It means that the less developed countries, they come to know that the main enemy for development, it is corruption. there are some leaders in the higher levels of power, they corrupt or they involve in corruption so that they can get private gains. So that corruption, it is the main enemy for development. So the less developed countries involved or employed much on curbing or combating corruption. For example, in Tanzania, as the case study of less developed countries, introduced the PCCB, the Prevent, Combat, and first it was PCB, Prevent and Combat Corruption. So the PCCB, that's the organ which involve itself in combating and eliminating corruption among the leaders and the other citizens in the nation. So this was another step taken by the less developed countries to combat also the problem of underdevelopment and neo-colonialism. But another step was increasing infrastructural development. It means those less developed countries, example Tanzania, involved themselves on increasing or advancing the improvement of infrastructures. So main roads and railways were improved. We can see an example from Tanzania. The ports are being extended in order to make the export and export of various cargoes from outside and towards outside, and the exporting of various goods to other neighbor nations. So you can see the Mtwara port has been extended, but airports has been improved. Yes, the last step as individual effort was adapting socialism ideology. As I told you that ideology, socialism ideology was kept itself in self-reliance or self-dependence, meaning that the less developed countries decided to lie themselves in self-depending or self-dependence, whereby the less developed countries must depend on themselves and not on imperialistic powers. So various third world countries come up with strategies on revamping or on establishment of different economic activities like agriculture, so that they can produce and use or utilize the available resources, which will not allow them to go outside for seeking assistance. So these were the steps which were taken by less developed countries to solve the problem of underdevelopment and new colonialism. Another category was collective efforts. The collective efforts involved the following, which the first one is establishment of non-aligned movement. Establishment of non-aligned movement or NAM in nation. It means that the non-aligned movement was taken or was conducted in Bandung in Indonesia. That was attended by various countries or third world countries like India, Cuba, Ghana, and other nations, so that they can discuss on how they will neither be with capitalists or socialists. So in that way, they decided to stand on the middle, that they will never support capitalists or socialists, and their aims is to stabilize their economies so that they can escape the problem of underdevelopment and neo-colonialism. Another, it was establishment of regional economic integrations. It means that these regional economic integrations was aimed at improving the third world countries' economies. For example, the East African Community formed in 1967, SADC, COMESA, and ECOWAS. These were regional economic integrations, which were the main aims was to make these third world countries under the one trade market or trade center. They wanted to make the having of one currency and the transportation system to be shared by those less developed countries in order to maintain or to boost up the economic development of themselves, and without depending on the Westerners or imperialistic powers. So you can see for example, East African Community, which involved, by that time when it was formed, it involved 3 countries, which was Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya. So these were countries which were formed East African Community. But as time went on, the countries were added, like Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, and the Congo was, I think up to now, Congo is not already accepted. So the countries which form East African Community, so that they can have the same or the one currency, but it's not successful. Another was to perpetuate the trading activities or cooperation in trading activities, and up to now, these East African communities or countries are participating or cooperating in trading activities. As you see, for example, our President Samia Suluhu Hassan has been entered in agreements with the presidents of Uganda and Kenya on how they can cooperate in different activities, especially in trade and the transportation. So you can see how this regional economic integration aimed much at improving or to combat the problem of underdevelopment and the neo-colonialism. But another, it was establishment of political integrations. It means the third world countries, they aimed or intended to extend or to improve the political integrations among the third world countries. For example, the establishment of OAU, Organization of African Union, in 1963. It means these integrations was aimed to come up with strategies on improving the political matters, especially in the third world countries, and escape from the conditions which are brought by the Westerners or imperialistic powers to adapt the Western constitutions and the other politics from Western. Another, there was Arab League, or the political integration which was formed was Arab League in 1945, and the Arab League was included the nations in Arab nations like Egypt, Syria, Lebanon, and other countries in Arabs or in Arab. So another was bilateral unions like Ghana, Guinea, and Mali. These were the bilateral unions or the unification of more than one countries. For example, Ghana, Guinea, and Mali were united to form the one bilateral union in order to cooperate in different activities like economic, political, and military assistance, so that they can escape from underdevelopment and the new colonialism which are pressurized by the imperialistic powers. Another was the establishment of the development banks. It means that the less developed countries came up with the best solution or the best step to counter the problem of underdevelopment and the new colonialism, that they have to establish their own banks, and those banks will abolish the depending on international monetary funds, like international monetary bodies like International Monetary Funds, IMF, and World Bank, so that those African banks could stand on themselves and to ensure that they are developing in economy. For example, in Africa, there was African Development Bank, which was established to ensure the African countries getting the financial assistance from the bank, which has been established by the African or the less developed countries in Africa. And the last one was establishment of South-South dialogue. South-South dialogue in 1987. And this South-South dialogue was just like a conference which was conducted in Zimbabwe in Harare, and it was attended by various southern countries in the southern hemisphere to ensure that, or to discuss to overcome the problem of question of underdevelopment and the new colonialism done by the imperialistic powers. So you can see that this South-South dialogue that took place in 1987 and officially started to operate in 1989. It was intended on assisting the southern hemisphere countries in Africa so that they can escape from new colonialism and the underdevelopment. So after looking the individual and the collective efforts which was taken by the less developed countries to overcome the problem of underdevelopment and the new colonialism, let us see the effects of new colonialism and the underdevelopment on third world countries. What are the effects which have been led by the new colonialism and underdevelopment on third world countries? The first one, it has led to the loss of sovereignty. And sovereignty, as we know, it is just the freedom of a country to make decisions on itself without interference or intervention from the foreign dominations. So many African or the less developed countries has lost their sovereignty to make their decisions freely without the Western interventions. So as we know now, even the general elections, the Westerners are just intervening in general election in different less developed countries. But we less developed countries, we can't intervene in their elections. So you can see that the new colonialism and the underdevelopment is impacted in such a way as we have lost our sovereignty. Another, it has led to debt burden. It means that the less developed countries has led to the debt burden. It means the burden of debt is increased due to the less developed countries are highly indebted by the Westerners as they are loaned with high interest rate. For example, up to July 2016, Tanzania was indebted 4 trillion Tanzania shillings. It means that, for example, in Tanzania or in Tanzania, until July 2016, the debt of our nation has reached to 40 trillion Tanzanian shillings. So you can see it is just a big burden, or it is a heavy burden that our country is holding. It's just because of new colonialism and the underdevelopment, on which result on the depending on assistance from abroad. And another impact, it has engineered political instabilities. It means new colonialism and the underdevelopment, especially in the third world countries, has led to the political unrest or political instabilities which are happening in various less developed countries. For example, in Democratic Republic of Congo in 1960 up to 1961, these were political instabilities which were taking place in Congo, and these were engineered or supported by the imperialistic powers through the acting as the peacemakers while they are increasing the confrontation among the less developed countries. And those imperialist powers, they have established the military bases. So that military bases are just accelerating the conflicts among the origin people or among the natives in order to fight. And once they start fighting, those Westerners, they use that chance to exploit the natural resources from the respective less developed countries. Another example, it is in Angola from 1975 to 2002. It means that in Angola there has been the political unrest whereby different leaders or political leaders has been in conflict each other so that they can get into power, and those leaders were supported by the Western imperialists or Western countries, so that after attaining the power they will assist them to attain their interests or their influence on that country. So this was another impact, and another impact, it has led to the influx of foreign direct investment. It means that other impact of neocolonialism and underdevelopment has led to the foreign direct investment. The Western countries or imperialistic countries has much invested in less developed countries by believing that less developed countries is the area where they will get cheap labor, they will get the area for the manufactured goods from their industries, and it is the area where they will get the market for those products which are produced in their countries at a high price, and they will get the area for investment as well as to exploit the raw materials which are present in third world countries. So that's why they decided to invest in third world countries, like through various companies, like soft drink companies like Coca-Cola. The Coca-Cola company, it is the imperialistic company which operates almost in less developed countries all over the world. And that imperialistic company, it is just exploit the natural resources where it operates, it bring and it import the manufactured goods from abroad to those less developed countries. So you can see those companies led to the influx of direct investment. Sorry, you can see that how neocolonialism and underdevelopment led to the influx of foreign direct investment. And example of another direct investment is just through the company of GBP and Shell. GBP just deal with the petroleum or supply of petroleum in less developing countries. But another, it is Shell, the company which deal with the exploitation of oil in the Middle East. So these the companies which are under the imperialist powers, so are the result of neocolonialism and underdevelopment. But another impact, it has led to brain drain. It means that the brain drain, it is the, and migrate to the Western countries in order to get the high wages as the payments. And another, it has led to the decline of technological development. It means that the impact of neocolonialism and underdevelopment has led to the technological development to decline or to collapse. It is because that the technology of third world countries is undermined because every goods are being imported from abroad, and the tools which are used in production are imported from abroad. So the local technology of the third world countries cannot develop because there is importation of technology from abroad. So the stagnation of local technology must be there as a result of neocolonialism and the underdevelopment. And the last effect of neocolonialism and the underdevelopment, it has led to dependence syndrome. It means many third world countries are depending on the Western or imperialistic powers so that they can get assistance. And many less developed countries are believing that their national annual budget cannot be successfully with the abundant cash without seeking assistance from abroad, from the international or imperialistic financial bodies like IMF and the World Bank. So those IMF and the World Bank assist or give the loans to those less developed countries with high interest rates. So that was another impact of neocolonialism and the underdevelopment. So these were effects. Let us give you the one question as an exercise. And this it is comprising one question, which is analyze the effects of neocolonialism and underdevelopment in less developed countries. So this is an exercise which you have to perform. Until there, this is the end of our lesson. So thank you for listening me attentively and watching me. I welcome you to proceed in the next session. So welcome and thank you for choosing Edukea as your best choice. So bye bye and have a good time.